second, which could be helpful for you. So, just a second. So that slide could be interested and where is it? Here we are. So just a second. Oh, So. That is the first. Nah, where is it? So it takes a while. Where is it? Just
take it easy.
I want to have you to see this. Right. So So, finally, okay. Okay, sorry, but I wanted to put this into okay. Talk about stakeholders, right? We talked about the red external stakeholders, and in the environment we talk about the change within the customer base. And
so I see you didn't open your.
Okay. Yeah. We talked about the stakeholder environment. We talked about guys, the suppliers, environment, society, and all of this. I said, or it depends on, and that's the reason, what's new. And what we talked about is that the customers, the consumers changed in the way they influence the market, they influence themselves, under themselves. So a lot of marketing guys, they say, wow, the customer out of control. In general, the social medias made a lot of people out of control. Governments, organizations, economy, companies. So a lot of people said, wow, customers get out of control, especially by social medias. And new customers, new behavior. Yeah? They have different values and they have a different behavior in the market. For example, the online booking, the world with their offline shopping, online shopping. New customers have, and that is of course a different story. The German word moralischer Anspruch, they expect from a company a moral behavior. What we said with the advertising of Volkswagen in the US or others. They expect a moral behavior of companies, releasing as less as possible people, not only being profit oriented, and they of course practice a social listening. That means they expect from companies that they look to the social environment and social media about what happens. And today, everybody in this world looks carefully into the social medias and monitors social medias, what the social medias tells about a company's product or the company itself. And if they feel something like this and they analyze the social medias, and if they see that a certain product name or company name is coming up in within conversations in the social network more and more more and more often, then they direct are active. People are more emotional today. And of course, they have their value. What we said about electrical cars, whatever, they have different values. And they expect from companies certain behavior. So that means social medias and high tech verändern die Welt. I will translate this in English, of course. They change the company's world and consumers. That means at the end of the game, this here is becoming more and more important. The customer-centric behavior in companies and giving them, the customer, the best experience in product, in services, the customer experience dealing with you as a company. So customer-centric, every single guy, people, every single organization or every single part of the organization has to focus on the customer. As Mr. Bezos mentioned, customer-centric, act customer-centric. And it becomes more and more important because of this diverse environment of customers and their influence. Yeah? Just to support this slide as part of the stakeholder environment. Okay, here we stopped. Startup. The basic of entrepreneurship. For the moon, even you will land on the stars. So probably you will have luck and you meet the right. So be creative and ambitious. This is what you should be. And when you see what we talked about, everything, you should be creative, ambitious. And of course, ambitiousness is not only the idea itself and to tell, I want to be a billionaire in 4 or 5 years. You have to plan all of this. And I think I gave you, or I sent, did I also, yeah. I marked and I sent you a version of a business plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
A very, very extant version. And have a very detailed business.
Yes, it's a very long.
Even a long content list. Yeah. So this is a business plan. There's no need if you are in the very start of a plan. Very early business plan, you need a light version because you have to adapt it quite often to the situation with your global stuff, what I present. This is something when you're more or less established. And you need to be more feasible and more detailed in what you do and how you do it. Yeah. Okay. Good. When we talked about the business model, we talked about this triangle. Do you remember? Yeah, what to offer, how to do it in a way of product, revenue, profit, competition to analyze. In every way, you have an overall task which is named market research. I mean, we didn't tell yet, but everything is not as important as market research. You can think about yourself, your product, your market, your company, but without a solid market research, you're always, how does normal people say, digging in the dirt or in the dark. That is very, very important. Market research. You do a decision, also private environment, probably market research if you do a larger investment. Okay, what to market and how to make money of it. And if this matches what the promise, you have this old sweet point or sweet spot. This is your target market. If you did everything right, where everything, it's nothing less and nothing more, to actually come, or the output is a business model. Huh? Good. I think this is the one. Yeah, this is the one with the complex business plan. Yeah. Essential of entrepreneurial small business management. Did you find this book in your electronic systems? Please. This is for, you get it the ProQuest ebooks from Fresenius. If access to this space via Elias, your Facebook. And what I business plan yeah. But you got this as a PDF, this business plan overview. Good. This we already saw. In a few words, he said the value of a customers are future earnings. Yeah. Future earnings minus acquiring costs. So I'm not sure whether we did. I'm not sure whether this is the one with Wayfair. Let me just check whether this is the one with Wayfair or not. But it was check. So. Yeah, we saw this. Just wanted to check. We saw this. Okay, so we have seen this. This was including the example of the company, which actually had the problem that they had nice revenues, etc., but they didn't actually make that profit because they had too high acquisition costs. And what we talked about the shareholder value is part of the shareholder value is the value of a customer. And if you break down what we said, the discounted value is at the end of the game, it is the value of a customer or a customer group or a geographical customer group. So if you predict earnings by a customer which are discounted on today to actually tell us what is the company value, then we always talk as the very, very basic of the customer means what we say future earning minus acquisition. €100 costs to acquire new customer, marketing, TV spots, and then you invest €1 million, and you'll find out you have 200,000 more customers or 20,000 new customers. And you know the game to acquire a customer means, first of all, you have a minus investment, a minus cash flow. You invest money, and then hopefully you go into the future earnings with it. And that is what we also saw in this video. I don't remember the company. Was it Wayfair? I can't remember the company right now. Mr. Fader was talking to. So let's have a little excursus, which normally is part of most of the marketing or customer relationship management, etc. Lessons or lectures. And it is important because it is very, very significant, or has a significant input into the valuation and the research a company should do from the very beginning. Yeah. You should be able to predict the value of the company and the growth potential. So we have 3 different areas we have to look at. Customer loyalty management. This is not important from the very beginning, but it will come up later on. That means if you have a customer, how loyal is this guy or this group? That means, do they buy your product again and again? Do they buy, let's say, a second product from your company you make available? If they buy the first one, which is probably, let's say, an iPhone 10, do they also buy an iPhone 12? Or if they buy 10, do they also buy the earplugs? So do they buy different products from your side? And of course, the best in this world today is, do they recommend your product within the social network? This is the top of loyalty. To actually tell, dear friends, this is a great product, buy it. And here we have a very important role of the influencer who do this. So then we have the value management. That means, what is the value, and that means profit and revenue of my customers in their lifetime circle. And how is their lifetime long, and what the different stages? So this is what we are now looking into in this X-course. For me, I think it's important because it touches very much the area of new business and startups. Yes, it was Wayfair, what we saw in the movie last time. Okay, loyalty concept. We talked about, or I told you, loyalty is when you have a friend within your customer base. Yeah. So if you look into it, I have 6 takeaways from this loyalty concept. What does the first takeaway means? It's difficult. It's difficult here. So it says a loyal customer accepts a price premium, which is real, and the price premium could be high, could be up to 10 and more than 10% or 16%. That means the customer likes your company, likes your product, and Apple uses this like crazy. Find out, is the customer able or willing to pay prime on top of the average market price? That is a nice thing to look at your loyalty at your customers. And if you do this job, this good job, to make him loyal to your company, this is a nice outcome. In the US, 63% they would share more personal information with the company. This is a second value of a loyal company, a loyal customer. They are able and willing to give you more information about themselves, their life, etc., than others. So that means they give you a benefit regarding, yes, dear company, I give you more information about what I do and what I want. That is one of the outcomes beside price premium. Then we don't have not only positive, we do not have only positive. Also, when the customer is loyal, the bad experience is today, bad experience means bad customer experience. If you see the letters CX, means customer experience in literature, etc. So customer experience is driving customers away. When you have bad experience with products and companies, let's say they go against environmental protection, etc. Customers, even if they are loyal, they go away faster than before. And look, 32% they say they will walk away from a brand product they love just after one bad experience.
And here is a problem. There's a small mistake, TK.
Please?
Here is a small mistake. You see that? Did you find your small mistakes?
Where?
TK.
Yeah. What should I say? What should I write into it?
About 23% maybe.
Or about?
Yeah.
Good. So 32% is quite a lot, I think, for customers who are buying a brand product. So that means companies need to get the most or the must. They get the must out of their customers, but please do it right. They have to do it right. And one key issue always was speed, convenience, helpful employees, friendly service matter most, hitting over 70% in importance to customer. That means they want to have direct contact with the company, personal contact as much as possible. That is more and more important. 70% want speed, convenience, helpful employees. Friendly. Friendly service matter most. That means 70%. If you are here creating problems, for example, you have a hotline and you wait 30 minutes. If people have alternatives in product and services, that can be a killer for a lot of your customers. Or if they have no chance to get through to any of your people, as is of course face-to-face. And if this here is working, you have personal contacts, wherever it is, then they accept technology for human interaction. There is another word called touch points. Do you know what touch points is? Touch as a touch points between the company and the consumer. Where does the company meet the consumer? By personal, by mail, by social activity, etc. And this must be organized and well defined and well define the customer language, geographical issues. Touch point very important. So other outcomes: employee experience. That means what we said, human interaction. 70% of US and 74% of non-US consumers want more experience with the employee of the companies. The problem is, do they want to pay for it? Do they want to pay for it? That's a different story. They want personal contact, but that costs money. Yeah. Give up generational fixation. We have the generation Z from 5 to 25. What matters to all generations also is true for Gen Z. What it said, give up some operational fixation. You should have your market segmented, but experience is strategy. 54% of US consumers say customer experience at most companies must improve. Experience means if you have a problem with your product, you buy a hair, a hair dryer. If you buy a hair dryer and you have a technical problem after a week, and then there comes the moment of truth, they say in marketing. Der Punkt der Wahrheit. The moment of truth. How does a company react if you tell them by phone or per mail, I have, or my hair dryer is defect, what should I do? And if they send you a mail with a 2-page questionnaire, why, what, where, how old are you, you get crazy. If they send you a mail and a little printed sticker and say, put this dryer into a package, stick it on, stick your value part for the post, for the carrier on top of the this package, bring it there, or we pick it up, and you get a new one within 3 days. That is customer experience. If you do this in the way I described, you will have probably very low customer. who tells other customers or other people, hey, I had this problem, I sent it back, I didn't need to pay this sending back, and I got a new one within 3 days. That is customer experience. Yeah. And not messing around for a $30 product, like a car, like it would be a car. So this is becoming more and more important. And that is what Amazon makes, what Amazon does do perfectly. They don't make a problem out of something sending back, whatever. This is great. That is more and more important. So here we are. It's in German, but I wanted to give you this copy because it tells about what I was talking about discounting. So in English, it's net present value. That means here you have the customer lifetime value. Here you have the point to evaluate time customer and the value for your company. How is the value for your company today? And this is partly the sum of the value of your customer. Means what do they spend within and for the company in company products during the next 3 or 4 periods. And then you have this formula to actually calculate all these events and the money they spend for different products during the next 3 or 4 periods. Here they spend $30, here they spend $40, here they spend $50. Of course, this is only to predict. This is, you found out by experience, by market research, that a certain customer group behaves like this. And then you calculate this back into a net present value. That means you have here a discount engine, which is represented here. Yeah, that is, for example, the interest rates. You say, equivalent, there are interest rates in the market. I have to put this in account because here is the earning. Normally, if I have invested this money into money, I would have an interest rate. So this is a calculation just to make it more visible to you what that means. Revenues per customer group, calculate it back and have a look and look for net present value, NPV. So the key. Super. Oh God. Somebody knows how this works. We did last time we tried to get this. N P Who knows this? You should have seen this during your studies. The net present value calculation, which means this here. Please? I cannot hear you. So this NPV, that is more word for this calculation. Reduce profit. Present value, and then just look at this calculation. Probably next time I will give you a calculation, an example how this works. It's not that difficult, yeah. But the idea is clear. Or any question? Questions? Okay, good. So lifetime value, that is so that is a lifetime value process. Who can explain the first part of this graph till today? And we talk about a customer. Let's say this is one customer. You properly, Liang. Can you do something with your microphone?
There's something wrong with her internet.
Ah, now it's perfect. Yes. Yes, exactly. So first you have this acquisition phase where you, exactly what you said, where you have costs for marketing, for these things. Make get when you to startup, this is also very important because when you create a product and product developed, as an entrepreneur, what you look for is an early investor to cover this, to cover this. Just check. To cover this important to cover these investments. So the very early investors, they have to cover, or mostly they cover these costs. Yeah, beside organizational costs. Ray, what is this phase?
I think these days is the business in the development in the develop because the CLV, the customer lifetime value is positive. So I think it is it is the business in the development and the retention fees.
Yeah, this is the phase where actually you get the payment back you invested in the acquisition phase. So when here you do the revenue, here your customer buy your product. That means your acquisition were successful and your product is popular in the market.
I think.
But retention means something on top of it.
The retention, if it translated to the Chinese, we learn it in the marketing courses. I think it is means the customer the first time buy your product, and then it will continue buying your products.
Yeah.
It is the retention. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly the point. The retention is the rate of that customer buy a product again. So this is a quite important number, the retention phase. to know that the customer relationship is quite solid. That is very important. So that percentage should be quite high. So this is the experience up to today. So we are here now. We founded the company, we have the idea, we have an investor to cover quite a lot of costs, also the acquisition phase. Yeah. For example, in this Shark Tank, we saw an example last time. I have seen the German version. Most of the entrepreneurs creating their products, etc. What they wanted from the investors was money and access to warehouses, whatever, and speed up and covering these costs here. So there's one investor in the German version. He is the guy who has extreme relationships to warehouses, to shops, to TV seller organizations. So he said in one pitch, he said, okay, please come with me. I give you 50% and I take 15% and give you 200,000 euro. And he said, I have access to 15,000 shops to bring your product within 4 weeks in this shop. And he did it several times and it works. So the entrepreneur, often if they have a consumer product, they look for investors who have this access into to multiply the acquisition. That is a very important piece, that you have somebody who opens up the market so that these costs here are as small as possible per customer. Yeah, and then you have the conversion into the most important retention phase, plus of course new customers. So now we are today. So Aysin, what happens then?
According to what I know is at first you start to get more trust from your customer. So at this table we see the company start to made more profit. This customer life value start to go up, and
this here, everything happened until have every data to have physical data, etc. Now we come to the point we were talking about future revenues and future products.
It's a forecast, right?
Yeah. Now we get in this environment where we have, based on our experience and market research, we have to do a calculation about the future activity, buying activity of our customers. So we start to predict the lifetime value. And this, of course, is a major part for investors. As an entrepreneur, you should be able, as soon as possible, based on the historical values and experience with your customers, to predict your business for the next 1 or 2 years. Of course, this is not only a figure you need. The discounted value of your revenue profit, other and predict numbers and strategies, product development, management, product diversification. So there are a lot of other components coming to consideration, but this is definitely. Understand this graph? Ray? Xiao, Ray, Liang, do you understand this graph?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's quite important. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Just coming back to the example of Wayfair. You remember last time when we saw the video from Mr. Fader about this company Wayfair? They did a research on this, and the outcome was that this company had enormous costs here, enormous acquisition costs. And the reason was that here, their customers they acquired, they didn't buy 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So they had a very, very low retention phase or retention rate of their customers. That means they lost customers and didn't continue to grow in revenue with existing customers. So they had to go back, spend enormous money again in the acquisition phase. And then they build up a customer base again, and then they lost the customers. And so that was because of future prediction, that was a very negative sign to the stock exchange, to the stock value. And when the market got informed about this problem, high acquisition, low retention rate, customers going down, the value of the stock of Wayfair dropped significantly. Yeah. Okay. This is the end of this excursion into the marketing game. Just to give you some important, very, very small important information about this customer experience, value management, you should always have in mind. A lot of figures I presented to you, you know, the 60% of the US means is out of PricewaterhouseCoopers research they did. And you can go to it's a very, very interesting and nice paper with a lot of graphs. And this research was done 2018. Customer experience, do it right, little company, otherwise you have a problem. And just research after here is how to get it right. Pricewaterhouse experiences everything, and you find this document is very good, really. It makes sense to read this. Okay, good. So this is the next section we are coming up next time. Financial planning, strategic capital resources, liability, mezzanine. Please have a look at this literature. This is a case analysis. Please read this for our next session.
Is that also can be found in EDS?
Please?
Is that also can be found in EDS?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's good.
Yeah, you will find this also via Elias in then in this ProQuest. Yeah. So just to check where, because I don't see you at the moment. So where are you, video? Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Yes.
But I can't see you.
Mm-hmm. You just hide all the others.
Why? I'm not seeing you. Where are you?
We are here.
Where are you?
We are there.
I think here. I don't see you. Super. This is about technical capabilities of Germans and Strange. Where are you?
Still cannot find us.
No, I don't find the. Strange. Cannot see you. But you see me.
Yeah.
Here we are. Aha, okay, good. Strange. Yeah. Good. Any questions to what we actually looked at? No? Okay, next 2 sessions we go into financial planning. That is number 2 in the content paper you have. And number 3, investing in entrepreneurial finance. We go into the self-financing and bootstrapping. Yeah. And here we have also a literature. We will have a look probably in 2 weeks. But you have the slides, so you can probably just have a short look into this. And then we look to the resources, quality of capital. That has a lot to do with the liability. And then we go into mezzanine, and then we go into a deeper consideration in bootstrapping, public funding, crowd, angels. So we go through the most important financing phases, and of course with the most important phases like crowd or bootstrapping, etc. So this will be a bit more deep into it. That is number 2 and 3. That is for the next 2 weeks. And we go in the during development process of the company. I think we did mention it, that the pre-seed, the seed phase, the growth phase, and Series B. So I think there are different words and things depending on where we are in the invest phase. And they, even in this investment phase, they make a difference in even more detailed phases. Iterations or more defined phases. So you can go into Google, whatever, and just have a look into, for example, growth phase, which is more or less the venture capital area. And then you see 8, Series or series A and series B. Yeah. But we will come to this. It's just a little bit more detailed. Let me check. This you got from my side, Mr. Geoffrey Moore. It's just to have always in mind what we do. Everything is important from his point of view, and you see always this graph, the normal distribution. That means everything is seen in this logic. We saw this in product development. We saw this now in customer lifetime. We saw investments. You always same graph here. This point explained from a different view. Okay, so it doesn't make sense to start another subject now. I would say, let's start. And I think last time we did a little bit more than yeah, we were longer in our lecture, our lesson. Okay, so that's it. Have a look at the Price Waterhouse document. Have a look to the literature I told you and I wrote into or for the subjects up to now. And please have a look to the net present value. Yeah. And I give you an example next lesson. But the calculation is not that difficult, but of course, like everything in this world, there are, of course, more complicated mathematical formulas. Because as much factors you take into consideration within these phases, as more complex get the mathematical structure. This is easy. We have here, I think, only the interest rate as a factor. Of course, and the different periods. Okay. Everything fine? Questions? Thank you very much. Take care. Have a good time. See you next week. Bye.